everybody, this is Billy Rulin again with Marysville Schools from the Technology Office. Hey, just wanted to take just a couple of minutes here, and I wanted to reassure people. I know there have been a lot of things in the news lately regarding Zoom bombers and such, type things where people are getting into your Zoom meetings. I shouldn't say your Zoom meetings, but they're getting into public Zoom meetings that are out there that are posted where people can see the links and stuff. And they're creating havoc and just posting inappropriate things and screen sharing things that they shouldn't be, and so on and so forth. What I wanted to do is take just a couple of minutes and reassure you some of the steps that we as a district have taken before we pushed this out to make certain that those types of things would be mitigated. Again, my disclaimer is this. I cannot guarantee everything, obviously. It is technology, and someone will eventually find some way, shape, or form to get themselves into trouble or to get themselves into things that they shouldn't be into. But what we can do is put things in place, best practices that will allow us to mitigate that almost to completely keeping it from happening. So, nonetheless, what I'm going to show you is just some brief settings and how we have those locked out so that people can't do the inappropriate things that you're seeing online. So first off, you'll notice here that we have host video turned. This is on our account settings for the district. So host video is set to be off as default when they join. Participants video is set to be off as well. And I'm actually going to lock that, but they can change that during the meeting. It's just a matter of when they come into the meeting, and when you schedule the meeting, it's going to be participants are only going to be allowed to have that video be off as they come in. The audio type, we're going to go ahead and make this change now. It will be computer audio only. The reason we're doing that is because Zoom is actually limiting the number of telephone interfaces that they are allowing to have happen. The join before host option, you'll notice, is locked in place, and it is locked to off. This is the one that we do not want your students to be able to get into a room without you being present. Next two that are sitting here are the personal meeting IDs. That one's it does not have bearing on any of the issues that you've seen, the horror stories that you've seen online. Only authenticated users can join meetings. We have that turned off for good reason, because our students do not have accounts, and we don't want them to have accounts. So we want them to be able to join via the browser without having to have an account created with Zoom. The main reason for them not having an account is we're trying to limit the options or the ways that they could possibly create their own rooms and be unsupervised with other students inside those rooms, thus creating a Pandora's box that we do not want to open. Scrolling on down, couple of other ones that are interesting to see. Require a password when scheduling new meetings. I have that turned on just because it's a wise idea to have that password, but what I don't want to have happen, and I have locked that in the off position, is the embed the password in a meeting link for a one-click join. So let's talk about those two settings right now. First off is this require a password when scheduling new meetings. This would allow for you to share a meeting link online and then force people to input a password in order to get into said meeting. This limits the amount of people that can get in, because obviously the only people that will get in are the ones that have said password. The second piece of this is this embed password in a meeting link for one-click join. So what you can do is you can tell the meeting settings to go ahead and put the password in the link. That way that the end user that gets that link doesn't have to input it to get in. Well, that kind of mitigates or negates the purpose of having the password, if you ask me personally. Thus, if that link gets out there publicly, anyone and their brother's uncle can join your meeting and cause problems. So, I've got that one turned off and locked. That one cannot be changed. We'll scroll down a little bit farther. Mute participants upon entry is turned on, and we have that one locked. The calendar and contact integration is a moot point. It does allow you to add to Google Calendar and so on and so forth. Let's scroll down a little bit farther here, and you'll notice that we have private chat turned off, and it is locked. We do not want students to be able to private chat, private message one another. And we also are limiting the option for you to be able to private chat with them. If there's something to be said, it can be said publicly in the chat room. And if it is something that needs to be addressed personally, there is the function of sending an email to those students. Let's continue on down the line here. And the last couple of settings you'll see we've allowed you to add co-hosts to the meeting. We allow you to put the attendees on hold, and the last one we're going to get to is the screen sharing. So allow hosts and participants to share their screen or content during meetings. We're going to allow that to happen, but you'll notice that we have limited this down to hosts only can do the screen sharing. So if you're going to allow a student to share their screen for some reason or another, whether or not it's legitimate or if it's by, just happenstance, you're going to have to give that student hosting permissions within your meeting. So please think about that as you decide to share. The best option would be to ask them to give you a screenshot, and they can email that to you. You can then open that file up within your screen share piece and post that on your Zoom meeting for everyone to see. I do not recommend allowing students to share their screens on a regular basis. And we do not recommend, obviously, having the all participants piece turned on, and that's why we have that limited to hosts only. So please keep that in mind. That, in a nutshell, is about it as far as the settings that you need to be worried about in regards to everything that you've seen horror story-wise out in the interwebs and all that jazz. So please, if you have questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us, 937-578-6155. For students, there is a student help desk a student help desk email that you can use, studenthelpdesk@mevsd.us. And then also staff members, we encourage you to put in a ticket through the support portal that you have access to on the staff page. Other than that, this has been Billy saying sayonara. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks.